You know what I love? Cereal. You know what I hate? Type 2 diabetes. That's why I avoid traditional cereals among other sugary foods. Oh, if only there was a way to enjoy cereal. You know what? Let's just cut the crap. You know where I'm going with this. Magic Spoon. It's cereal, and it has the amazing flavors you love, but without all the bad stuff. We're talking 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs, and it's only 140 calories per serving. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. And listen to this. You can build your very own custom bundle of Magic Spoon cereal with flavors like cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, cookies and cream, maple waffle, blueberry, cinnamon, plus the newly reformulated honey nut flavor that will now be added to Magic Spoon's permanent collection because it's so delicious. Little note here, there's 1 gram of sugar in that one. Oh, the decadence, the honeyness, the nuttiness. It's still only 1 gram of sugar, whereas another brand of honey nut flavor is 12 grams. I won't say the name, but it rhymes with Beerios. When you get that custom bundle, be sure to use our promo code NODUNKS at checkout to save $5 off your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money. No questions asked. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/NoDunks and use the code NODUNKS to save $5 off. As always, thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the weekend shift here. No Dunks, part of the Athletic Network. I'm J.E. Skeets, and oh my God, joining me here on a Saturday morning. So fired up about that game last night. It's the one and only Tass Mellis. What's up, Tassie?
What's up, Skeetsy? You've been doing such a good job with these weekend shifts, these late shifts. I thought I'd join, not just because it was a great game. I agreed, actually, before this game, because I thought it'd be over, and I thought I have to hear the sound of my own voice going into the finals here. I had to be part of it, considering it was going to end yesterday.
Yeah,
100%.
You were pretty confident. You and the other boys in the No Dunks Classic Factory on Friday were all saying this one was a wrap. You guys were a bunch of Draymond Greens. You fired up the heat there. Got Haslam going.
Oh, yeah.
Got Tucker going. What a storyline.
Do you think Draymond Green actually planned that? Come on now.
Yes, I do. What a way to start this, too. I love that it's somehow overshadowing a guy scoring 47 points in an elimination game. But yeah, let's waste no time here. Shout out to the stream team. Thank you for joining us live on a Saturday morning. Everybody listening and watching later, make sure you like, subscribe, either on YouTube or whatever podcast platform you listen to No Dunks. And let's just hit it right now because we got a Game 7, baby. Zaza, take it away.
We're going to Game 7, baby. Game 7. Game 7.
Yeah, baby.
That's how you start a weekend right there with a little Zaza in your life. Yes, we're going to have a do or die Game 7 Sunday night in South Beach after Jimmy Butler, Tass, led the Heat to the 111-103 victory in Boston to extend this series, keep their title hopes alive. And Jimmy, the man of the hour, a man possessed last night with 47 points, 9 boards, 8 assists, and 4 steals. My God, Tass.
Well, I thought it was over because of what happened in games 3, 4, and 5, right? With Jimmy specifically.
For sure.
It just looked like a totally different guy. And then we saw what happened from minute 1 to minute 48. That was the best part. He was setting guys up in the first couple minutes, and then he got his flow, and then he continued until the final buzzer. He was there, and he got just enough help, baby. Just enough help.
He did, especially from a guy that's near and dear to our heart in Kyle Lowry, who helped him out. But Jimmy, overall, 16 for 29 from the field. Perfect from the line. 11-11. Some great free throw shooting besides Jaylen Brown late in this game. And then 4 3-pointers, too, from Jimmy. But you're right, Tass. Like, what the hell happened to his knee?
Right.
Like, what happens between games 5 and 6, where it looks like this guy's got nothing really left to give because the knee's, still hurting him from that game 3 injury where he leaves. And that just wasn't the case. He said the reason was he talked to Dwayne Wade. Just getting on the horn with Wade magically healed his knee. It's very strange, but he was locked in right from the jump, like you said. What like the first quarter alone, I mean, he was just what did he had like 14, 5 and 4 in the first 12 minutes of this game. Just like putting his imprints on it very early.
Right. And going back to game 5, he was like 2 of 8 in the first quarter, and he just wasn't right. You can say this is the LeBron stare down game. Go back to the 2020 finals where he had that 40-point performance against the Lakers, where there's the famous picture of him hanging over the scores table, the end table there, gassed. But that's what it felt like. And I'm not certain. Listen, I'm not good at calling games right in this moment here, but I don't think this is over by any means.
No. That's why Draymond Green could still technically be right. That's my favorite part of that whole story. I mean, they do have one more game to play. And if you know how it's going to end, bullshit. Because good luck. You can just straight up flip a coin. You would think the Heat now, game 7 at home, if Jimmy is going to continue to play like this, if some of these guys that couldn't hit a shot to save their lives, and Lowry and even Strus, like if they're on a little bit, okay. But like, who knows? Like, why can't Tatum go for 45 or 50 in game 7? Like, why not? So yeah, I mean, that should make for a very exciting, in theory, game 7 there on Sunday night. It's not an afternoon game. It is a Sunday night game, which I'm a fan of as well. But yeah, I'm with you. I got no idea. I had Heat in 7 because I swerved against you guys, but I'm not feeling all that confident. I'm not betting it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and you like a night game just because playoff viewing needs to be at night.
I just like to have my weekends free a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of. I don't mind it, of course, when the playoffs start. That's fun. But I like to everybody go do your things on Sunday. Go have your brunches. Go walk your dogs. Go to your kids' birthday parties and pool parties and all that. And then let's all get back in front of the TV to end the weekend install. And also, it's a long weekend here.
That's
it's
true.
like, I mean, that's like the best of both worlds, really. I mean,
That's
who cares?
true.
Like, this game could go quadruple, 5, 6 overtimes. We ain't gonna care. Nobody's gonna care, for the most part in the States, at least.
Yeah, and we may even do our show right after that.
That's a possibility.
I wanted to ask you because I saw pregame, just getting back to the viewing experience. You tweeted, "Pour a scotch, dog at my feet.
Yep,
ready to watch Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals," and you got a beauty. I was wondering, inside or outside? Did you? Because I know sometimes you watch outside.
No, I was inside last night. Yeah. I mean, you could have last night. Beautiful night here in Atlanta.
It was amazing.
Could have taken the laptop out on the back or front porch for sure, but no, I didn't even cross my mind, if I'm being honest.
I did that. It was so nice. I was even doing mobile view. I was just looking at my phone. So nice outside.
Oh, look at you! Look at you!
I brought it in at halftime. Did some stuff, and then.
Oh, okay. Well, it gets a little late. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Great tweet from Tony Jones about Jimmy Butler. I'm not sure if you saw this one making the rounds last night on Twitter, Tas, but Tony tweeted, "Jimmy Butler is the rare guy in NBA history who isn't a top 5 overall player, but in a playoff setting, he can take his game to a top 5 overall level. Who is like this in the past?" Or who in the past is like this, I should say. And then he went first. He says Reggie Miller was that type of guy. I mean, I think it's a fun tweet. Are there any other names that come to mind? Do you agree with Tony about Jimmy and I guess his first selection there in Reggie?
Ooh, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Jimmy definitely fits that criteria.
Totally.
Right here, right now. And that's why it felt like a bit of this stone-faced game for LeBron, like ready to take it to that next level, to be a top 5 guy for, a year or two, perhaps, in the echelon of NBA players. He's got to do it in the finals again, though. Like, it's not, you're not up there until you do it in the finals one time. But I guess we throw Embiid and Jokic up there, and they haven't been there.
Right. I think some other fun names to like answer Tony's question.
Yeah.
I saw people say Chauncey Billups which I thought was a pretty fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Never, of course, like, where did Billups top out when he was playing in a regular season, where people like, maybe they were like, he's top 25, top 20, maybe at his best years, but then, had some pretty incredible playoff performances. Damian Lillard, if you don't have him as like a top, and he probably isn't a top 5 guy in the league. I mean, maybe, that one's a little closer, but that's a good one. Paul George, I think maybe younger Paul George is sort of there. Again, the idea that they're good players, but they're not like top five guys, but they sure can look like it at times in playoff games or playoff series. So I like that. James Worthy, for all the old heads out there, for the Lee Ellises out there, I think is maybe there. And I'll say one more. Our good old Canadian boy. I think Jamal Murray has shown at times that he might have that in him. Just monster explosions in playoff settings. But
hope so.
He's far from top 5.
I guess Donovan Mitchell, if you're throwing Jamal Murray in that category. Mitchell has been there before this year. And yeah, we're quick to just say, that guy's not there anymore. Kawhi Leonard here mentioned in the stream team.
Yeah, but Kawhi was top 5. I mean, Kawhi.
Like never in the top 5 was the tweet. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Kawhi definitely was. All right.
Fun stuff there from Tony. But let's talk a little bit about the help that Jimmy got, because you and I were saying it, like, Lowry has to do something, because Jimmy, though he almost basically just carried the team for the entirety of this game 6. He got some help, and that was Lowry's best game of the postseason, was it not? I mean, he had finished with 18 points, 10 assists, 4 boards. He fouled out 2 stupid Kyle Lowry fouls at the end. I mean, if they lose this game, everybody's going, "What are you doing, Kyle? You're being a little too Lowry with those 2 fouls late." But I thought, just seeing that 3-pointer drop, you could tell he was like, "Oh my God, finally!" Because he hit that one. I think it was off a high, pick from Bam. Lowry loves going to his left, splashed the 3 early. Then he had like a wide open layup where the Celtics appeared to just blow like their ice pick and roll coverage. Smart. I mean, they don't usually play it this way. Smart like really iced it, and then Robert Williams was like, "What are we doing?" And then Lowry just walked to the net, but. Lowry got going early there, Tas, and I thought was huge in the Heat, forcing a game 7, almost just as much as Jimmy Crazy.
Yeah, it's the levels are obviously way different. But that was, I'm with you, because that was the exact level of Lowry that you needed, and what the Heat expected when they signed him. 18 points, and going down the stretch, Eric Spoelstra called the 2-man game there. 4 minutes left. Him and Jimmy needs to lean on somebody like Kyle Lowry. It's exactly what they signed him up for. Bam hasn't been that guy, and to make set up a 2-man game there where they just kind of played up sort of above the break, and Kyle Lowry was set up for a big 3. He hit that with 4 minutes left, and then on that next possession, driving. You don't see Kyle really draw too many fouls, but he was able to draw the foul, a legitimate foul call. And I have to say that because there were some illegitimate foul calls in this game. It
was a poorly officiated game. They were killing flows. They were calling fouls when it didn't appear to be a foul. Then they weren't calling fouls when there was a blatant foul. They were sort of all over the map.
It was a weird one.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad in the end because I think the better team won. But yeah, to get Jimmy to the point where he could hit a couple shots, that was the perfect Lowry. That was the perfect Kyle Lowry. So, yeah, that happened with 4 minutes left, and then we get down to the 2 or 3 minutes left where Jimmy was doing it on one end, and I think PJ Tucker was doing it on the other end. Exactly what the Heat dialed up here. If you were to draw it up, how would the Heat win a playoff game? Well, Lowry, helped out Butler as sort of the number 2 scorer. Strus did enough, and then PJ Tucker, baby. I mean, Bam would probably be written into that script. I guess I lied there. You'd probably get an addendum. You'd get some more Bam in there, but whatever.
Yeah.
It came down to the end, and Butler, Tucker, and they finished the job, baby.
As much of the story from this game is Jimmy Butler with the 47 in an elimination game on the road. The Celtics maybe blew this too. They really did. Like, Derek White hits a 3 to put them up 97-94. The Celtics are leading the game with about 4 minutes to go, something like that. You said you're at home, you've come back, You've sort of overcome this weird officiated game with some of your guys being in foul trouble. You've got Tatum and Brown. You're looking good. Like, you are 4 minutes away from going to the finals. And this is what happens from that point on from the Celtics offensively. I'm going to read it to you. Marcus Smart misses a three-pointer. He was trying to be a hero in this game. There is no doubt.
That possession, no one else touched the ball. You don't see that in basketball too often. 24 seconds of Marcus Smart up top and a missed three.
Yep. So he misses a three. Then Smart does make 2 free throws. That was off of one of the dumb Kyle Lowry fouls. So they're into the bonus. He takes those. He hits them. So that's good. Then Smart misses another 3. Yikes. Then we get Jaylen Brown. He's at the line and he misses. I think it's a tie game at that point. He misses both free throws. And, Celtics fans going, that's sort of Jaylen Brown's thing here. He sometimes misses these clutch free throws. Okay. Then
that
Tatum,
was actually the Marcus Smart possession. I lied. That was the Marcus Smart. And then the Derek White steal that he did a couple times.
Oh, the one on Lowry.
Yeah.
Where he came from behind. That was.
Yeah.
I thought that was the game, honestly. I was like, my God. That's a
and then Brown missed 2 free throws. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Brown misses 2 free throws. Then the Tatum turnover. Awesome play from Tucker. I think, that one where Tatum spinning. Tucker pounces, and they get the steal. Huge play, okay? Horford then misses a three-pointer, and Derek White misses a three-pointer. These were all of the possessions in a row after they had taken that 97-94 lead. Now, eventually Tatum takes a shot and all that, but wow. You got Jason Tatum, and he took, what was it, one shot with in 1 minute to go in the fourth quarter of a very close game? That was crazy.
Yeah, he may have gotten another shot if PJ Tucker didn't strip him on that spin move. But you're totally right. The Marcus Smart bad possession, then Brown misses 2 free throws after Derek White saved the day there for a sec. But kudos to Max Strus, shut down Jason Tatum enough for PJ Tucker to come in and strip that thing. Mm-hmm. And then PJ Tucker brought it all the way up. This PJ Tucker, dribbling it all the way up, and then Derek White with a weird foul, slapping him in the chest, basically, and giving Tucker an opportunity to hit a couple free throws there. And then, it just went downhill from there. Horford missed 3. Tatum did hit a shot, but the Heat were doing – you're right. The bad execution by the Celtics down the stretch. It goes hand in hand. For sure, with the Heat's great execution down the stretch.
Yeah, and then the other thing that the Celtics did in this game is they turned the ball over. And every time they turn the ball over, they generally lose here in the playoffs. 17 total, led to 23 points for the Heat. And now in the playoffs, they're 1-4 when they have more than 15 turnovers. And again, some of those were Jimmy jumping the passing lanes and Tucker getting in there and Lowry, raking away in there and stuff like that. They brought the intensity and they were putting some pressure on the officials again to are you going to call this stuff in an elimination game? Cause we're going to scratch and claw our way as much as we can until you really call it. But the turnovers just, I thought once again killed Boston and the execution down the stretch. And just missing some of these shots, which were open. I mean, some of those, I think the Horford one, if I remember correctly, it was open. Is an in rhythm corner 3. Horford had hit a 3 earlier in the quarter. I think actually he hit a 3 that brought Robert Williams back to the bench, right? I think Time Lord was going to check in, and I'm pretty sure Horford splashed a 3, and then Udoka brought him back.
Well, Udoka said, wow, Horford hit his first shot of the game. Al Horford had a stinky game there until that shot. He just... playing in his 140th career playoff game, I thought he'd be a little bit more confident with the ball when he had somebody on the block, but he was passing out. Some of the Celtics, the turnovers didn't produce well. The Heat just got enough. It's easy to forget that Tyler Hero wasn't playing this game, and Victor Oladipo came through with a couple clutch threes, taking that charge late. Max Strus just kept shooting, baby. Even though, he's way off on one shot. I mean, they're asking him to shoot from 28 feet.
Oh my God. He was pulling it from Lillard Curry range a couple times. He hit one. I couldn't believe the guy had missed 14 straight 3-pointers in this series. And then the one he hits is the one to beat the shot clock. When they had to inbound it with 1 second left, I think it was in the third quarter. It's
that was the mouth guard flying out of his mouth. And mouth guard flying out. Wicked 3. He needed just to keep shooting. And that dude is a starting shooting guard here on a conference finalist, playing defense and taken Duncan Robinson's job because he's physical enough. And as I said about that strip that Tucker was able to make with just under 2 minutes left, it was because Strus played some defense. So Strus, kept shooting through the bad stretch. Lowry came back, Oladipo, Tucker hitting free throws at the end. Enough offense there for the Heat. They came through in a series. Yeah, we're just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So who the heck knows what we see in Game 7?
It felt like the Heat came up with a clutch shot every time they needed one. Like anytime the Celtics had made the run, looked like they were going to take control and head to the finals, it was somebody on Miami, be it Jimmy, Lowry, Strus, Oladipo, like you said, hit that big three. Like somebody just always had an answer somehow to stop a run or to hit a timely bucket. It was crazy. And they just, look, in games 4 and 5, the Heat combined to shoot 60 of 184, 32% from the field in those 2 games. And then in this one, they shot 46% and they hit 15 threes. I mean, that's a big part of this story of this game too. It's just the Heat actually hit some shots. And, Jimmy and Kyle and Strus hitting, well, you throw in Tucker too there. That's 13 3-pointers between those 4. So gave him a chance, and it was just enough, like you said.
And as you said about the Celtics, kind of flubbing this one at the end. A huge bucket was the Jimmy Butler turnaround jumper. It's 105-101. And I thought the shot that sealed it was there's 2.2 seconds left on the shot clock, and they're inbounding by Boston's hoop there. And Jimmy got the shot right where he likes to get that shot, sort of on the wing, close to the 3-point line, right side of the floor. Easy inbound to him, tough shot to turn around and shoot it from there, but just a money shot. So why was he freaking that open? I mean, they were playing everybody single coverage because there's 2 seconds left, but he got a pretty clean look for 2 seconds left on a shot clock inbound over Marcus Smart to bang that home, make it a 6-point game, and good night. But he came up with that shot. He came up with that monster drive with 2 minutes left to give them a 3-point lead because it was an and one. So it was Jimmy at the end. Just a beautiful bounce. Everybody coming through there at the end of Game 6.
How nice was it to actually watch an exciting game here too? I was like, finally leaning forward in my chair. Like, ooh, here we go. This is a big possession. And we just obviously hadn't had a lot of that in close games here in these conference finals, both of the series, with the Warriors taking care of business. And this one, I mean, we almost never had a late lead change or even that close a game down the final 5 or 6 minutes of the game. So I was like, oh yeah, basketball is awesome when it's close. And every possession matters here. So it was great. So just like, I mean, I know the Beantown boys will be upset if maybe we don't talk about it a little more. Do you think they got a really shitty whistle? The Celtics did here in Game 6, or do you think it was just an overall, like we said, poorly officiated game? Like, what are your final thoughts on that? Because I know we had like 2 quick fouls on Horford. You had 2 quick fouls on Tucker, I think it was. Guys fouling out. Again, the flow was weird. But some Celtics fans, I haven't listened to Simmons' podcast yet, but I'm sure he's lamenting the whistle that they got. What do you think?
No, it was bad both ways. And the Celtics made mistakes. Why they challenged that call on Grant Williams, Jimmy Butler's jump shot early in the fourth quarter.
That was bad.
It was strange. And you could see Grant Williams is asking, what did I do? He's looking up at the video board, but Jaylen Brown is right there saying, you hacked him. You hit him on he's literally saying it to him. Jaylen Brown's got to be on the coaching staff. He's got to tell people he hit him. I mean, why are we challenging that? Yeah. He should be saying that to the bench. I know it wasn't a blatant hit of the arm, but they're not reversing that. So I think it was bad both ways. And if you look at the execution down the stretch for the Celtics, I don't know how you blame anybody but yourself. It wasn't fun to watch. I got to be honest. I think it was bad both. I zoomed in on a bunch of calls. Was it a foul? Well, yeah. But the Heat were in foul trouble, as you said. Yeah. So how do you really blame it on the whistles? Do you blame it on the whistles?
No, I don't. I don't at all. I just think they had a bad game, because the worst thing you want, or the worst thing you get from an officiating crew, is just inconsistency. It's like, what type of game are you calling it tonight? Are you letting things go? Or are you not? Don't go back and forth. And that's what it appeared they were doing. And that's got to be the frustrating part. And you could tell, I mean, they were telling everybody, shut up, stop complaining, because they're all upset. It's like, what's a foul? What isn't? And, everybody's getting warned basically at one point. But back to that challenge. I mean, that was actually huge when you think about it, because there were 2 instances off the top of my head that I can remember after they blew the challenge very early in the fourth quarter that they really probably would have got the benefit of and been able to challenge and overturn it. Tatum, offensive foul called, right, with 8:45 left. That was like a bang, bang one that it could have been, obviously you go to the replay monitors and maybe it gets overturned. And then there's the other one where, remember when Butler rolled his ankle with like 3 minutes to go?
Yes.
And it was off him. The ball goes,
no one else carried it out of bounds.
Yeah. And that one would have been a big one to be like, okay, well, let's look at that one. And they're definitely overturning it. They're saying, okay, it's Celtics ball. But I don't think the Heat ended up scoring on that possession, if I remember correctly, but whatever. I mean, very weird to go to that challenge like 15 seconds into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't end up scoring on that one where Jimmy went for a little stroll out of bounds with the ball, and somehow, because he turned his ankle when Al Horford tried to strip him, they gave the ball to him. Yeah, there were some bad calls by the officials, and Ime Udoka, I'm not sure why he used it that early in the fourth quarter. You're totally right. He could have used it later. But, going back and thinking about it, one note I made was the Celtics here in a closeout game at home just didn't get back at times. I know the fast break points were basically even 14-13, but they're beat down the floor a few times. And I don't think you should get beat down the floor one time. And you should be able to get back and be the last line of defense there. So listen, Jimmy was great up top, even if he wasn't a shutdown guy in this game defensively. He was so good, so good at timing passes. He was amazing. And the line speaks to it, how freaking good he was. The box score says it all. He was so good and able to carry his team to the end. But the Celtics had nothing to blame but the mirror. They have to. I mean, they gotta be upset with themselves. And they got out executed at the end. Really.
My random notes for this one. JVG, Jeff Van Gundy, complaining about bench players encroaching on the court. And man, look, and it's become a bit of a storyline here because of the Mavericks. And I was bringing it up weeks ago about, is this a rule or not? Can you do this now? Can you stand during these playoff games? You don't get told to sit down, but like, there was that one. I mean, I think it was like Morris is like on the court. He's standing on the court. It is a sort of insane how close these guys, like, 6, 7, 8 bench guys or whatever, like some of the staff are just can be around an opponent shooting in the corner there. It's wild.
They're standing on the baseline or the sideline. They're all over it. They're dancing on that thing. I don't know how the NBA regulates it. I guess it's because you can't say stand behind this line. I guess it's just you have to sit. Really.
I think they would have to tell them you have to be sitting. Yeah, while gameplay is happening.
Yeah,
or you'll get a delay a game or whatever, and then a tech or something.
But you want you're telling like Jason Kidd said earlier. These playoffs, you got millionaires cheering for other millionaires. It's great.
Yeah, no, I know, but
I know it is cool that they're standing up. But I think to me that's just an indicator how this Heat team was ready to give it everything they got. They were just into it mentally. Karan Butler, assistant coach for the Heat, was flying onto the floor when Kyle Lowry was down on the ground. Like they were there for each other and ready to give it everything they had physically. They were ready for this game, baby.
My other note was I laughed out loud. I don't know if it was making its way around Twitter. I wasn't really watching at this point, but Lowry went down. Like I think he probably it's Lowry, so he was taking a charge or trying to get some contact.
Perfect.
He dropped
Lowry
to the ground. I think he got hit. Like it probably hurt. So he's lying on the ground, and the mop guy came out and mopped around him.
I didn't see that.
It's so funny. If it didn't find its way to Twitter, I should go grab it because it is very funny. The mop guy literally he's like a dead body in the paint, and he just goes around him. Oh man, I laughed out loud at that one. But
Oh.
that's another random note I had. I don't know if you have any other ones.
Somebody must have drawn a chalk outline
That's
around
what it looked
Kyle
like.
Lowry.
That's what it looked like, because the guy just going around him, cleaning up the sweat just around him. I guess he'll wait till he finally gets up, and then I'll clean up that. But yeah, that's really all I have in my notes. I don't know if you have anything else.
Man, I would have loved to see Lowry's sweat angel on the floor after that, and the sweat. Greatest Raptor of all time, greatest rump of all time. To see that shape on the floor, that would have been phenomenal. No, I missed that one. Yeah. Weird that I missed that one. I did fall asleep 6 minutes left in this game. I was pretty pissed at myself.
Whoa.
Yeah. I was making notes. I was in bed. I was making notes.
Oh, there you go.
And then went down for the count. Woke up and at 1 a.m. and watched the rest of it.
Oh, wow.
Because I had to watch that thing. We got a close game. Skeets. This game went from these playoffs went from, the meme of that guy leaning back in his chair to leaning forward.
That's right.
Had to take it in. No other random notes, though.
Okay.
I think that's it. I mean, I was just impressed with the Heat down the stretch there and how they executed play after play after play, finishing the job.
Well, the Celtics have shown an ability to bounce back in these playoffs. They're 5-0 following a loss, and 4 of those wins have come by double figures. So again, if you think you figured out Game 7 there on Sunday night in South Beach, I'm going to disagree with you. You're just a straight up liar. But we'll see. Hopefully it's another close game. Like Tas said, we might jump back on here on Sunday night if Tas can stay awake. Hopefully,
yeah.
Don't go to bed. You got to sit in a chair or something.
Yeah, you gotta sit in a chair. That's
take it outside. Maybe it helps your chances.
Yeah. Actually, one random note. I'm watching the stream team here talking about Kyle Lowry, vintage Lowry game. I'm seeing.
I loved it. I was beaming.
Yes, it was phenomenal. And Lowry on the floor. It just it brings up. I tweeted something about Lowry early in the game, and there's a lot of, I guess, Beantown boys pissed. Like, the guy's flopping all over the place. He's all over the floor. Yep. But you have an exact replica in Marcus Smart on the other side. So how do you get pissed about it? I mean, when he's on your team, you love him, and I guess you can hate him if you're watching him flop around. But I don't think that him flopping around garnered the Heat calls that they didn't deserve or anything. I think he did a good job, and a guy like Oladipo stepping in and taking a charge there. Heat culture, baby. That was great.
Game 7, Sunday night, everybody. Let's do it one more time. We got the clip. Tas uploaded it. Come on,
We're going to Game 7, baby. Game 7. Game 7.
I'll hear one final note, Skeets, because I know JD uploaded. I uploaded it too, and while I was uploading it, I saw, like, sometimes you see like closed captioning, like transcripts pop up, and so I just thought it was funny reading the transcript from Zaza Pachulia's Game 7 video. There is nothing easy. We're going to Game 7, baby. Game 7. I wish you guys were there, because he's talking to his home.
Yeah, that's the extended version. Yeah.
But everybody knows that we got your support. We're gonna feel it on Game 7. And I think he did say on Game 7. We love you all, right? That's it.
And I believe the Hawks went on to lose that game by about 30 points.
400 points.
In Game 7. That's my favorite part of the whole thing. They just got their ass handed to them. Oh, man. Was Al Horford on that team? Yeah.
He must have been, yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Wow. Hopefully it goes a little better for Al Horford here, at least a closer game. Before we go, Tas, just in other quick news here, just get your take on this real quick. Lakers hired Darvin Ham as their next head coach. Any thoughts on this?
Well, first, I can't wait to read the article on The Athletic about it, because I got that queued up. Of course, the man is very, very well deserving. And speaking of the Hawks, I mean, he goes back way back with the Hawks, and I know he's a basketball lifer, and he obviously is a student of the game as well. So you got LeBron's approval. LeBron tweeted he's excited to work with Darvin Ham. I guess LeBron may be having flashbacks of Tyronn Lue coaching him in Cleveland, a role player in this league when he played, and a student of the game when he coached. So I'm sure Darvin Ham will be a very good coach. Will he have the roster and the time to make it work, I think is the question.
Yeah, I like it too. I mean, look, he's a champion as a player. Darvin Ham was with the Pistons, and obviously as an assistant coach with the Bucks. He has experience with the Lakers organization. I always forget that he was there for a couple seasons, and then, like you said, he was with the Hawks too. And most importantly, it does feel like he has respect of players in this league, especially your star players in LeBron there. So I love this hire. I think it sort of checks all the boxes, and he's, like you said to start it, terribly deserving of a chance to be a head coach in this league. I mean, he's put his time in on all these benches. So it'd be fun to see what he can do as the lead guy there. And Darvin Ham, it's a great name. You get to see all those Nuggets dunk contest clips going around, him shattering backboards in college. Will Jose Calderon come out of retirement to play for a man named Ham, or at least be on his staff? I always forgot Jose played for the Lakers, for crying out loud, for like 25 games. So, good stuff.
And there is that one clip that people, I'm sure, forget about. First round of the bubble, Darvin Ham, assistant on the Bucks staff, came out and broke up a fight between, I think it was James Ennis or Terrence Ross, maybe. I don't know. There was some Bucks involved. There was some
Bucks magic.
Yeah. So if there's a fight in the locker room with the Lakers, Darvin Ham will be there. I guess the one thing that when we had these potential candidates for the Lakers job being interviewed, it was Darvin Ham, Mark Jackson, and Terry Stotts.
And Kenny Atkinson maybe too.
Kenny Atkinson, excuse me. Not Mark Jackson. It was Kenny Atkinson. I guess I questioned whether or not the name was big enough to command the room as far as Darvin Ham was concerned, or Kenny Atkinson. I don't know. I hope that sort of idea is kind of going by the wayside in the NBA. But if you know the game, if you played the game as well, I'm sure that's part of the respect level. But Darvin Ham has been there. Teron Lue, I brought him up. Maybe that whole thing of, you got to get this big name coach who's won championships. I don't know. Maybe people don't care about it as much, and hopefully they don't. And seemingly LeBron doesn't.
Right.
But I don't know. Going back to Frank Vogel, it just seemed like he was sort of a lame duck there, even though he won a championship and worked his ass off and knew the game and had coached for a long time with Indiana and Orlando. And I don't know. It just feels odd, I think, a little bit that they went this direction. Like, will Darvin Ham get all the respect of your Westbrooks and down the line? I mean, I guess that's a bigger question for me. The roster really is.
Yeah.
A huge
it's
question.
not like Darvin Ham's going to come in here and this team is instantly winning 60 games with the current makeup of this team. I mean, even if you have LeBron and AD, I don't think that's happening. They got a lot of decisions to make and to figure it out. But they also are going to hope that Ham, I mean, you keep saying Lua as a great comparison. I think that's true, or you're hoping, obviously. But look at Udoka too. Here on the Celtics, sort of same thing. They come in, obviously set an identity, be a new voice, have the respect, because especially as a former player and champion, like I said. So we'll see. Congrats to Darvin Ham. Everybody loves to see it. Finally here, I'm just going to keep saying this until we do it, because it's only a couple days away. Tuesday night, May 31st, around 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's the No Dunks 2022 charity drive for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We had a blast doing this last year, and we were doing it here in the yard. So we're going to be in person all together in the Classic Factory, trying to raise money for a great cause in St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. The goal, $30K. We've set the bar extremely high this year. So that's on Tuesday night. Just want to keep planting it in your brain for you to join us all on YouTube when we do this charity drive. Very excited for that, Tass.
Get over there and enjoy the show, because we will be doing a lot of stupid things, I think, in the
probably
like we always do, but in the Classic Factory, doing it live. We'll get to, hopefully get to various benchmarks as we did last year. If we hit 5K, we'll get Lee to put on his thong or whatever. Hopefully not, but you get my drift. It'll be fun.
Yeah. I mean, and it's a nighttime show. Lee always gets zany at night. We'll get a Guinness or two in him too, and things will get really crazy. So Tuesday night, May 31st, We will be back either on late Sunday night to recap Game 7. Maybe we'll save it for a Monday show on Memorial Day. We're still figuring that out. I think part of it may be how entertaining is the game and all that. But you'll have a podcast or a reaction podcast at least to that Game 7 baby at some point on late Sunday night or on Monday. So you can lock that in as well. What do you got going on for the rest of the weekend, Tas? Anything exciting?
Danielle needs to go get some tomatoes from the farmer's market today. Oh, Gypsy Kings tonight.
What?
Woo. Yeah.
Where are you going to see the Gypsy Kings? Where do they play?
Chastain outdoor venue.
Park.
Oh, yeah. We've seen them there, years ago.
Right.
And I guess Chastain is back, baby.
Oh, so you got the babysitter and everything tonight. This is
babies are coming.
Oh, okay.
Babies are going to be dancing.
What time is the show?
They're going to be tired.
Oh, hey, school's out maybe, is it?
Yeah,
live it up. Zoe just graduated, so there you go.
Yeah. They'll be living. What do you got going on the rest of the weekend?
Not much planned. I think I'm going to hit some pools though at some point.
Damn
sure.
right.
I might be hitting a pool with you. I just heard possibly on a Sunday, and then Memorial Day. I think probably go see Jared and splash around there. It's going to be hot down here in the A. So nothing really though. Just resting for Game 7.
Yeah, and you got a marathon.
That's
coming.
True. I do have my final real long run of training is this weekend too. I'll do that on Sunday probably in the morning. But it's only 13 miles, so feels like nothing at this point.
Oh, the taper, as they call it.
Yes, after this 13, it's basically 2 weeks of very little running. Or like there's running still, but nothing crazy. You start to taper down, right? Look at you knowing the terms.
Yeah,
Somebody's
I don't know.
reading Paul Flannery.
I'm reading Paul Flannery.
There you go.
I don't run, but I read a running blog. 2 more weeks, man. That's exciting.
All right. Well, thank you to everybody for joining us here on a Saturday morning. We really appreciate it. The stream teamers. Thanks everybody for listening. Of course, later, leave your boys a 5-star rating and review. And we will see you at some point later this weekend or on the holiday Monday. Until then, I actually don't play the Clipper Bros on this task.
No, what do you do?
I guess I could because you're here. Okay, I'll play the Clipper Bros. You hit us with some final words. Here we go. Clipper Bros.
Okay.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Oh, man, I wasn't ready for this. Thanks for joining us. And remember, Jimmy Butler is a bad man.
Embrace the weekend, people.
You could stay